Hi everyone, this is Yarrow. She's going to help me explain Lab 1. So I'm just going to give you a quick little overview of what we're doing and why we're doing it. So I'll start each lab with just a little explanatory video to kind of help contextualize what we're doing. So I'm going to pull up the web page. All right, so this is the Lab 1 web page. And so the labs are going to be hosted on a website called GitHub. And so one of the reasons that I'm doing this is that you'll lose access to Canvas like after the term class is over and everything, but you will never lose access to this GitHub page. So this will be a permanent record, so you can access this website anytime after the fact when you're done with this course. So I'm doing this that way, if you want to come back and reference things later, if you're working with Arc or GIS in general down the line, you'll always have access to this resource. So it's the same reason that I'm posting all the lecture videos on YouTube. That way you have permanent access to it. Additionally, for the YouTube videos, YouTube creates auto-generated closed captioning, so I think that makes lecture videos a bit more accessible when there's closed captioning. Canvas doesn't offer any sort of service like that, and they don't pay me enough to transcribe all the videos. So anyway, with that said, Lab 1 is just a basic introduction. So this is the web page you'll be working with. The intro video I'm recording right now will be posted here. But you can see the learning objectives are essentially just to familiarize yourself with the software packages that we're going to be working with and learn how to do some basic GIS tasks. So for accessing ArcPro, again, reference the lab details page. You can either download your own installation or do a remote connection to the geography computer. If you're working on a Mac or Linux system, it might be easier for you to just do the remote connection rather than dealing with partitioning your hard drive. But if you want to figure that out, you're welcome to try it. And also, if you're working on a geography computer, it's important to take note of how to properly save and access your data. So there's instructions posted on the lab details page. Just watch the video that Avinash recorded for us, and that should kind of sort things out for you. So the first step is to just create an ArcGIS project. So I've got the instructions laid out for that here. And you see embed instructions interspersed with text, or pictures interspersed with text in the instructions, and then highlight important features in red boxes. And I've also embedded videos throughout the lab to help you work through things. So the first step is to download the data and create a project. But from there, I'm going to have you just complete complete one tutorial on ArcGIS Pro's website, and then watch a few more tutorial videos. So this Introduction to ArcGIS Pro tutorial was created by Esri, which is the company that created the software package. So they're the best resource to go to for familiarizing yourself with the package. So just have you create this or follow this tutorial, and it's pretty simple. It should only take about 25 minutes or so, but it'll help you familiarize yourself just a little bit with the actual software package. And so throughout the lab instructions, I've embedded questions. They're highlighted in bold. These correspond to questions on a Canvas quiz that you can access through Canvas. And so you'll see the questions in bold here. Question 1 is just save the map that you create from this tutorial and submit it. But the other questions will be, numeric answer, text answer, writing short, paragraph responses, or submitting maps, things like that. So in addition to completing this tutorial, I've got 4 other tutorial videos on exploring data, making a layout, using geoprocessing, and creating points on a map. So these are all 2 to 3 minute videos put out by Esri. Just watch them as well to help familiarize yourself with the software package. Then we're going to shift gears, and we're going to apply modern GIS methods to one of the foundational studies of geospatial analysis. So to start, we're just going to do a quick history lesson, learning about how germ theory came to be and how it won out over miasma theory, but how much resistance there was to that. And then that leads into the foundations of epidemiology. We're going to be recreating a study done by Dr. John Snow. He's one of the first people to use mapping to identify the point source of a disease outbreak. So in this case, it was a cholera outbreak in London. He recorded deaths on a map using ticks and X's locating the location of wells, and then was able to deduce from that that this cluster of deaths around one certain well meant that that well was contaminated. So you're going to recreate that. Got a video here on georeferencing to show how I have brought in the original scanned map document and placed it on a map. So you get an introduction into how to bring like historical data into a modern GIS. And then you'll get an intro into adding data. So we've already what's called digitizing, creating data. We've already digitized the deaths data for you. That's all these little ticks on this map. So you can bring that in. And I've got little short videos embedded in here. Now these short videos don't have sound just because it kind of saves storage space. They're embedded directly in the website. If that's an issue for people, I'm open to changing it down the line. And then we're going to have you actually create some data. So you're going to create a new layer. And there's references back to one of the videos you watched. And you're going to digitize the location of a pump on this map. Then you're going to do some spatial analysis techniques. So I'm going to show you an example of how to do two measures of central tendency, the mean, center, and directional distribution. So you just read through and look at that here. I don't actually have you do that, just showing you these as an example. But then I'm going to have you calculate what's known as kernel density. So essentially the density of cases per some unit area, in this case hectares. And you actually calculate this, put it on a map, and from there, we're going to make a final map, publish it, and export it and upload it to Canvas. And so you can see again, the questions are just embedded in here. So what I suggest you do is as you're going through, just jot down your answers to the questions, and then you can just copy and paste those into Canvas after you're done with the lab. That's probably the easiest workflow.